Horrible.
I clicked the wrong button. All right.
That was awful.
All right, just
Breathe
That
better.
was that was the biggest blue balls moment ever.
My balls are cherry blue now. My bad. All right, we'll rerun it. All right.
Welcome back to another edition of the Jerk Circle podcast. I am your host, Andrew, and as always, I am joined by my fellow co-hosts, fellow friends, fellow buddies. Guys, say hi.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás?
Hello.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's hi. That's hello. That's
Not
how are you
really.
doing? I mean, yeah. Harold's always got to be the one that's just kind of like on his own.
You're
know?
just mad that I
Always
got
gotta be
upper
ignorant.
intellect, and I'm starting to, use big words. And
Upper
starting to be
intellect?
bilingual.
Yeah.
Bilingual, bro.
Is
You
it
can't
pretty-
even speak one language?
Is it pretty ubiquitous that we all know that you're using your upper intellect? Do you know what that word means, Harold?
Indubitably,
He's
I
looking
do
it up
know
right
what
now.
that means.
All right, well, we're happy to be back for another episode. I think this is number 7 or 8. I can't remember. It's crazy that we've done 7 or 8 already.
Hold up, we're getting a call. This is number 7. No, this is number
call
8.
from who?
The last one
He's-
was number 7.
Yeah,
My
he's
editor.
making a joke.
The guy that I have in
Oh.
my basement to do all this.
Oh, sure,
You
sure.
don't even have a basement. You live in a second floor apartment.
If you're gonna expose everything about me,
called
then
out.
I will leak your IP address
I'm not
live.
exposing everything about you.
You're putting my
You
business out
probably
there.
don't even know how to
All
find
right.
my IP
All
address.
right, yeah, calm down, Harold. All right,
Make me
if we
upset.
wanted to expose everything, we would.
Okay. Whoa.
Well, maybe not
Pause.
everything.
So, as you all know, Thanksgiving was last week, and man, I don't know about you three, but I ate, and I ate a lot, and I enjoyed the food that I shoved in my gullet. Oh,
Mhm.
So we are
Mhm.
here to kick things off, to kick this episode off, with some small talk. We will dive into our Thanksgiving recap, and then we'll move into some other topics. But for some small talk, has anything happened besides Thanksgiving since we last spoke? Harold, I'll start with you.
I mean, technically, this is about Thanksgiving. Oh no. Well, I thought about our tier ranking, right? And I was thinking
Sure.
about it as we were going into Thanksgiving dinner, and I had the luxury of having 2 Thanksgiving dinners, one with Cheyenne's family and one with mine. And I think that I came to an understanding. I think we all maybe will come to this understanding. We were disrespectful to
say
mashed
it.
potatoes. Mashed potatoes are the goat of Thanksgiving.
I know we did
Oh,
not
okay.
we did
Agreed.
not mention that, and
I mean, we did, but it
We
kind
did.
of got
We just mixed
overtaken
it with
by
the gravy.
yeah, we didn't really kind of give it spotlight like I think we
No,
probably
kinda
should
went
have
off on the
because
gravy. It's fair.
it was a big staple.
I thought Harold was going a
Harold,
different direction with that.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
I thought so too.
properly accounted for, I think would be the proper
Yeah,
words
that's
for it.
accurate. I actually listened to the episode today because I had realized that I hadn't listened to it just because of the holiday and I was so busy on our time off and then obviously work and stuff. So, but I listened to it today and yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Harold.
What did you listen to on the where? Oh my! I can't. I'm tumbling over my words.
You're
I
trying to
don't know.
plug.
There's
You're trying to
something-
put a plug in here.
There's something in my soda, man. I swear. I was gonna say, where did you listen to the Jerk Circle podcast?
Oh, well, I listened to... Wow, sounds so bad. I listened to the Jerk Circle podcast on Spotify, because I personally like Spotify. But you can find all of our Jerk Circle episodes on wherever you find your Spotify, or your podcast, not Spotify. Spotify is one, but
Is
not
it
the
on
only one.
YouTube? I only listen to my podcast on YouTube. Is it on YouTube?
Yes, it is on YouTube, and we're supposed to be in the works of putting it on TikTok. I think there's one video for it on Harold's page. But we should make a Jerk Circle pod either TikTok or an Instagram, so it's just like one spot that people can go to. But I think that's in the works. I think
We
we're
could
kind of
call
working
it-
on that.
We could call it the Jerk Circle.
Call it
Um,
Jerk Talk.
Call it. Oh no. We could call it the JCP.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that one. We do have a Jared in our group too, so that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting careful.
Jerk and Jared. Speaking of Jared, has anything changed? Anything new? Anything different? That you want to talk to about?
Not really. My NFL team still sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We
Yeah,
talked
I'm
about
used
our
to it.
Dolphins
I'm used to
Packers.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 30 some, well, about 30 years of watching them and being disappointed every single year. So
To
I'm at to the
quote,
point I kind of want to go back to we just suck so bad we don't win games, so I don't have to get hyped up about anything.
sure.
I mean,
Yeah, just
that's
don't
a
set
good idea.
those expectations high, and you'll never be disappointed.
It's
That's
hard
what
to
I
when
do.
you have a good team on paper, but they decide every morning when they get up, we're going to injure 3 to 4 players a day.
Yeah, that's fair. But to quote Josh Jacobs, them boys looked cold.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah.
It looked real
Never meet
cold
them,
out
Bruce.
there. Yeah. Dylan, got any small talk for us and the listeners?
Small talk? Not
Yeah, give me that.
really.
Give me the smallest of talks.
I mean, we had a good Thanksgiving, boys. We had 2 Thanksgivings actually,
Look at
and
you doubling up
we
on
ate a lot of
delicious.
food. We made some peanut butter pie for the boys.
Oh, that was so
Wait,
good.
I just
So
realized I
good.
never got any.
I still have a full pie in the basement.
Ooh.
Oh, if you hear rustling around at midnight tonight, don't come down in your basement.
Dude,
It
Ronan's
might
gonna
be.
be like barking, alert barking, horribly.
It might be the
You're gonna hear
demon
it.
or me. Who knows? You might not tell the difference.
Yeah,
That's
this
fair.
guy brought it in for lunch, and let's just say after we ate some of that peanut butter pie and some chicken sliders, I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to lay on a rock and just bask in the sun. I was ready to go
Oh,
crocodile
absolutely.
mode.
Me too.
I would have made my room super cold and just took a fat nap. That's probably what I would have done.
Actually, I did do that after work.
Dylan, why are you moaning over there?
You take naps after
Because it
work?
worry about
sounds lovely.
I did on
don't
Monday.
have to work, no.
Well, that was an unintentional nap, though.
That
So
was Dylan's fault with all that peanut butter.
So
You're right. I'm
we
sorry.
caught a little bit of it. Jared, you'd said that you had tried or had Dylan's peanut butter pie. Go into detail. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. It was like heaven with every bite.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you better
Describe the
love peanut
umami
butter.
that
If you don't,
experienced.
that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
fair. It
I
doesn't.
don't
But
get it.
basically, if you love peanut butter, you're gonna love the pie. If you don't love peanut butter, you obviously ain't gonna like this thing.
I
So,
don't know. I
but
mean,
But
I became
if you don't like
That's very
peanut butter,
fair.
I don't know if I like you. So
That's
Yeah,
fair.
That's fair. That
that's
is fair.
very
Well,
fair.
we unanimously all put that
Uh-huh.
into S tier. Jared, would you say that you would still keep it in S tier?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah,
Very, very confident,
Love
very
that.
straightforward.
More
Love the
hesitation.
answer.
it's
Yes.
right up there with the apple for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good stuff.
I love
It's
me
good
some warm
stuff, brother.
apple. Yes. Well, I guess that kind of just transitions into recapping our Thanksgiving, and Dylan, we'll kind of just keep it with you here. How was it? If you want to go into detail, I know you said you had 2. Was there a specific food that, besides the peanut butter pie or whatever, that you were like, oh yeah, like I had a bunch of this, or we did this on Thanksgiving? Like, just kind of give us a little recap.
Okay. So I'll say that the first one I went to was at my sister's. And I kind of was invited last minute.
Okay.
But I get up there and they have this couple I haven't ever met before. They're there.
Mm.
And they brought a bunch of stuff from their bakery. Turns out
Ooh.
they're ex-Amish.
Oh.
Amish bakery stuff.
Oh,
no.
I'm so jealous.
I had one of the
Mm.
best Thanksgivings ever.
Oh god, that's
It was very full of tasty treats.
Man, that
I'm
makes
so jealous.
that makes my Thanksgiving look like sauerkraut, like a bowl of
Oh, yeah.
sauerkraut.
So good. Had Amish stuffing too. That
Oh,
was new.
what's an
That was
Amish
so good.
stuffing?
Yeah, what is
That's
that?
why
Is it
still F
different?
tier.
I'm not like entirely sure.
This man. Okay, how
The
about that?
nastiest
Dylan, keep
hater of
going.
the year award, man.
You know it.
Right.
You know, I can't even tell you what's like all fully in it because I ate it so fast I couldn't even look at it.
Oh,
It's,
you didn't even look
Nice.
at it. It just
no,
Whipped
it's
out
so
the
good,
funnel.
dude.
sucked
So
it up.
good. Like I'm already like a huge stuffing advocate, but this one, top tier. So good.
What
Ooh,
made it stand
okay.
out? What would you say? Was it something in the stuffing? Was it just you put your mouth on it and you were
There's
like,
definitely
oh,
something in the stuffing there.
Did you taste any of it? Actually,
No,
what was the secret
No.
sauce?
we ate it too fast. We didn't taste nothing.
too fast.
He's like, I better eat it
Um,
before I start realizing that it ain't good.
Did
But never
you?
came back.
Big question for you, Dylan. Did
Mhm.
you give a Thanksgiving plate to Ronan?
Mm. We didn't give him a full plate,
Okay.
but he got turkey
Ooh.
and skin from the turkey, obviously.
Mhm.
He got a little bit of stuffing,
Mhm.
and we tried to give him what was it? I think the turkey liver. He didn't want it.
Really?
I don't blame him.
It's like one of the only times he's ever not taken food.
Hmm.
Everything
dog.
else, he devoured.
Yeah, 'cause I know dogs can have like certain things. Like I think sweet potatoes are good for them. Green beans they can have. Kind of Thanksgiving types of food, and
Mm.
obviously like turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask about that because you got to give some love to the dogs. You got to give
Yeah,
give them
he's a
love and
spoiled boy. He's a
well,
spoiled
good. That makes me happy to hear.
boy.
Speaking of spoiled boys, Harold, how did your Thanksgiving go?
Dude, I burned my tongue and I feel it, and it's not nice. I ate pizza yesterday that was too hot, and it like left a bump. But I would definitely
Okay.
say one of the things that I didn't account
Oh.
for, and I quickly realized, is when you have two Thanksgivings, especially with people who love you very much and make too much of food, they want to give you a lot of leftovers. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
you
Oh
know,
yeah.
in the moment, you're like, "Oh, this is so good, man! I want to take it all home. I'll become I'll adopt all these little mashed potatoes and turkeys and stuff and bring them into my home." But man,
Right.
I'm on finally and taken into work tomorrow. The last little bit of leftovers I have, not including pie. I still have pie to punch through, and next time you see me, I'm gonna need a forklift to get through the house. I'm there. When you eat the same thing over and over again, you're like, if I eat like this all day, dude, I'm gonna end up like them girls on the 1,000-pound sisters and stuff with like 30-pound foreheads and stuff, man.
Oh jeez.
I
Here comes
definitely,
Tammy.
I think it's kind of unique. It's having Thanksgiving with different people because at the same time, like you have the same stuff, but it's done a little differently. Like my mom decided she wanted to do like a traditional turkey that she kind of shredded up the night before, but then she made like a bacon wrap turkey. I was like, what the
Mhm.
hell? They bacon wrapped the turkey, and that was pretty damn good. I was like, oh, it might be dry. Nope, it was wet as hell. And then she made
I mean,
mashed
yeah.
potatoes, and she was like, yeah, I put like 5 different cheeses in it, and there's like bacon in it. I was like,
Yeah, I
Ooh.
mean, if you add bacon to pretty much anything, it just
Instantly it's better.
it just raises the bar
it raises it so
for it.
much. Bacon is such a good
Mhm.
accent. I kind
It
of
is.
realized how much of a addition bacon becomes when you add it to dishes. And
Mhm.
I
Mm.
was not the biggest bacon guy before, but now just throw it on whatever. Donut,
Yes.
bam, bacon.
But
Bread,
now,
Yep.
bacon, bam. The turkey,
Well, the
bam.
Bacon family is happy to have you, and we
I
are
love
thrilled
pork.
that you
yeah.
love some more bacon.
I could never be
Um,
Muslim, man. I love me some pork.
all right,
Right.
Jared, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. Obviously, I laid a file. We did a little different. Me, my mom, my sister did one on Thanksgiving Day. We actually made lasagna.
Ooh, I love
Completely
me
out of
some
blue, but
lasagna.
oh my god, it's so goddamn good.
Mhm.
So good.
Mm.
And then Saturday we did the Thanksgiving with the whole fam, and that was just your traditional. We had the turkey. We do a ham because not everybody likes turkey. But I pretty much sat and got shot by little Nerf darts the whole night. All the little nephew and cousins running around,
Yeah,
and then
you'll
played
have
some
that.
cards. Wanted to
Ooh,
go into
cards
a
are
coma,
fun.
but I couldn't because you doze off, you get shot in the head with a dart.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Stop.
yeah. I
But
will
all in all,
say,
good time.
I will say, like by like halftime of the Dolphins Packers game, I was like, ooh, I could pass out right
Oh yeah.
now and not wake up. But obviously, I could not do that because A, the Packers were on, and B, I had to drive. Um, which I guess I can talk about my Thanksgiving recap. Yours all sound very lovely, and that you got to enjoy some good food, spend some time with family, because that's what it's about, being with friends, family, and just being thankful for what we have. Yeah, my Thanksgiving was well. Went out to my parents. Everybody kind of brought a dish, so it wasn't all just on one person, which I think. I mean, I feel like that's how it should be.
Hmm.
Just so
Yeah.
one person doesn't have to slave away on like every dish, because I like cooking, kind of. I don't know. I'm not a huge cooker, but I don't mind it. But it takes a lot of work, and so when everybody contributes, I think it helps out a lot. But I got a little bit of everything. I got my sister made the mac and cheese. I got my cheesy potatoes. Got mashed potatoes with gravy. I got my turkey. I did not get my cranberry stuff because
Mm.
obviously that was something my grandma made, and my mom I don't think did that this year.
Mm.
But I think that was the only thing. The rolls, the bread, oh, so good, dude. I'm talking
Always.
about that fresh bread.
Of
Oh,
course, of course.
yes. And then we kind of played some games. We were screaming at that when the Bears and Lions were playing because
Oh
of how
god.
awful the Bears fumbled the bag against the Lions. That was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah,
Just
Packers are
because
gonna
we
do the
were
same thing.
all right.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to spend some time with the family. We played some card games too. Had a couple drinks. It was a good night. It was a good day. And then Friday we did a little bit of Black Friday shopping. So we
How
got
was
some
that?
gifts for people. Oh, it was good. Actually, I don't know. I don't think people
It's not.
do it as much anymore, so it's not as
Yeah.
busy. But
It's
we
mostly
also,
Cyber Monday.
I was say it's not as crazy as it used to be. I used to remember
which
going out to Best Buy and camping the night before.
right, yeah, it that has definitely changed.
Oh yeah.
We also didn't go out until about 11:30, so
Mhm.
but we're not one for like, oh, we have to have this item on there. We're just like, oh yeah, we'll see what we can find, and the deals are, they're always there. So it
Well, yeah.
just,
Nowadays they run almost 2 weeks.
yeah, they run them, they
Right.
extend them, so there's not as big of a rush as there was before, which people have different opinions on that, but it was fine. It went well. Yeah, so that was my Thanksgiving. It was very good. And with Thanksgiving there was football, and with football we have to talk about our fantasy football teams. This
Do
little
we have to?
subject, yes, Dylan, we have to, and you're gonna talk about why your team sucks. Anyways,
Can we talk
we're
about
gonna
the
talk.
other one where I'm doing good?
No. You can talk about either one of them. I don't care. Yeah, but just figured we could talk about our fantasy football season. Some do-overs. Things we wish we could probably do. Whether it was taking somebody in the first round and we missed on somebody else. And then things we got right. So I'll just work down the line. Harold, I'll start with you. You want to talk about your fantasy season
Yeah.
and how it's been going?
Yes. I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you. As much as I would love to talk about my successes and failures, I think that someone here has something to get off their chest. Maybe a running back size hole in their heart that they need to get off first. Dylan, I'm going to pass the baton to you, buddy. I think you need to say what you have to say because I have been hearing you hurt at work. I have been hearing you cry at night. I think that there's something that you
Yeah.
need to talk about to the world.
Yeah.
How many leagues are you in?
I'm in two.
Okay, just for context.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing good in my unpaid league, but my paid league, not so much. And the main knife in my heart right now is Brees Hall. That guy
Ooh.
is bipolar.
Yeah.
So let's do good, and then let's not do good. And then let's just screw me over every week.
Yeah, he's been very hit or miss this season.
Go Tukey.
I feel like a big reason for that is just that terrible offensive line
Right.
from the Jets.
And then,
and
You know, their QB's kind of trash.
yeah, who's their
Back.
QB? Oh, it's Rodgers.
A-Ron.
Yeah, almost like
The enigma.
it's almost like a 41-year-old quarterback off of an ACL tear doesn't do well. Huh, who would have thought of that?
He's definitely
but-
ready to watch the Aaron Rodgers documentary coming out on Netflix here in a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, never in my life.
Did you hear
But,
that's why?
Um,
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna look at Brees Hall. Let's say last week for you, he put up 31. Or no, that was before the.
That
bye.
was before. No,
Yeah,
he put up.
so-
weeks ago.
He put up, I think,
6
6.
points.
Yeah, he put up
yeah.
6 points.
Well, that's not bad.
It's not bad. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 games where he's been under 10 fantasy points. But
Couple
yeah, I
where
mean,
he's just above.
he's 11th ranked on the season as far as running back. So not not the worst. If we
Not
had a
the worst,
12-man league, that would still
but
be a first
Probably
round,
my
maybe.
biggest letdown this season. I should have drafted Amon-Ra before Harold could have.
Yeah, that
Should
would
have
have
changed the
um,
clock.
I was,
Should have time traveled.
Because that guy has been nutsy.
Yeah, I think I have, and I did that this year with mine. We dive on it a little bit deeper, but I like drafting a wide receiver in the first round. I think I'm gonna stick with that just because of who I got, and I think I was really happy with the guys that I have. But this is not about me yet. This is about Dylan currently, and Harold. We will get back to you about your team.
Okay.
So that was something maybe you wish you could have redo, undo, whatever.
Uh-huh.
What is something that you were like, I nailed on the head? Whether it was a trade or it was an acquisition off of
Ooh.
via the free agents.
Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna say. What was it? I made a trade with Harold that
Okay.
paid off pretty decently. I gave him, I think, Deontay Johnson and. You're really laughing, and I know why.
I wonder how that's going. Now.
Here, you talk. I'll get it. I'll get it up.
Yeah, you get it up because I don't know how to find it. I'm kind of
You have to go
not
on the pewter. I think.
good at working this. Yeah, I'm not good at working that thing, but it paid off really well because it was right before he got traded to the Ravens, and he gave me, I know it was Garrett Wilson and somebody else, and it had a
Garrett
huge
Wilson.
payoff for like the first 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, where is
I
it?
would say, well, if it was Garrett Wilson, I mean, Garrett Wilson is ranked 7th overall, and I know Deontay Johnson's probably not even cracked the top 30.
All right.
No.
The trade that
Harold
was
got
made on Tuesday, October 22nd at 11:37 a.m. was
Yep.
Deontay Johnson and Brian Robinson Jr. to me, Harold Butler.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
And then I gave Dylan Romeo Dobbs and Garrett Wilson. Oh, no, wait, that's the bad one. Oh, ignore that one. Okay, let's
I
get.
say, is that the bad one?
Hold up, wait. That's the one I fleeced you in. My bad. Hold up.
Say, hold on. Maybe I got it wrong.
Where
What's
is
the one
it?
I'm thinking of?
Well, you do have Garrett Wilson on your team.
I do. And that paid
So-
off pretty well.
Yeah. Seemed like
Oh, I
it
traded you
worked out.
Romeo Dobbs for Bucky Irvin.
Yeah.
Bucky
That was more
Irving.
recent. That was
he's
a
been
lot more recent.
he's been doing really well. I think he's gonna. Oh my gosh, yeah, he's been doing really well these last 3 weeks. He is taking over that lead back. In Tampa, and I think he will be a highly drafted player next year.
There you go.
Yeah. So your other league, you're doing good in. Are you gonna make the playoffs in your other league?
Yeah, I should. I mean, well, yeah, I will.
Let me
I
see.
think me and you are tied. I know I just checked it this morning.
Yeah, you
Um,
and I are tied.
We're tied for
as far
second,
as-
9-4. And I stand a pretty good chance this week of winning, so
Yeah, you're. So if you
We're
scroll
doing good.
over, your playoff percentage is 85%. So
right.
as long as you don't botch some games, we should be good.
I don't think I will. I've got a projected 30 points over my opponent this week, so
Good to hear.
should be
Good to
alright.
hear. Well,
should be doing good.
good luck to you
Gonna-
and the rest of the season. We hopefully go far in that league. I know it's not paid, but hey, you might have bragging rights, and bragging rights are good.
Yeah, it's something. Tell you
So,
what, though.
yeah.
I'm sorry, just an
you're good.
unexpected, pretty decent playing card this year, because last year was kind of more rough for him, was Hubbard on the Panthers.
Oh yes, Chuba Hubbard.
I like that callback because I think going into this year, a lot of people were kind of off the Hubbard train. They were like,
Yeah.
he was kind of
Yeah.
given the green light once Miles Sanders quickly showed that he was not the guy, and Hubbard kind of didn't do much. So going into this year, everyone thought Jonathan Brooks was going to take over, and that Hubbard would kind of just get phased out. But he's became fantasy-wise a reliable, startable running back, which you could have got him like late this year for the draft.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the off season goes, and if how that backfield looks for next year. Because they just gave him an extension halfway through this season, so does that confuse things? I don't know, maybe. But Harold, I want to come back to you, and maybe the thing that you wish you would do over is that trade, huh? Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, so there's a little bit of context because I know you hear that and you're like,
True,
oh, that's a
yeah.
bad trade, that's a bad trade, that's a bad
He
trade.
was throwing me a bone, to be honest.
Now, besides the fact that I would bone Dylan, I set myself up beautifully with the draft and some free agency acquisitions for running backs. So I was completely stacked to the gill with running backs at that point. I had Mixon, I had J.K. Dobbins, who R.I.P. will always live in my heart.
Mhm.
I had who else? I think I had Aaron Jones at that point, and I had Tracy just sitting on the back burner, Tyrone Tracy. So I was like,
Cool.
and that's on top of having Bucky Irving. I desperately needed wide receiver for the week, so I was like, you know what? I know Bucky Irving is going to be like very good. Was Bucky's pretty early on. I advocated for him, and I was like, I'm going to be giving up a guy who might become a league winner, but I feel like I already got enough of those guys that where am I going to start him in my flex? I already got Nico Collins. I thought I assembled the Death Star with my team the way that I drafted because I was like wide receiver early, then we'll get running back later, and then week 1, week 2, we're going to dive on waiver wires. We're going to get a couple guys, we're going to run it up, we're going to kick some ass. And 9-4, I think that's some ass kicking. And Jared, Jared's
Yes.
league. I feel bad
Shut
for
up.
you guys because I'm 10-3 in that league, and I broke some bones in that league. You know, all I'm gonna say is you let me get Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, you're not gonna have a good day. You know, but I think my biggest regret this year was buying into the Jets hype and getting Garrett Wilson in the second round. Looking at the exactly where I drafted him, I could have gotten Jahmyr Gibbs immediately afterwards. I could have gotten George Pickens, who's been phenomenal. I could have gotten Nico Collins earlier. Who else? Drake London has been on and off. Derrick Henry was right there. Didn't get him. So Garrett Wilson, I bought into the hype. I thought he was going to be wide receiver 1 for the year. I thought he was going to really take off with Aaron Rodgers. And early on, I was like, Rodgers needs time. He needs to grow a little bit, get his feet under him. And then slowly and surely, I started realizing that that's not going to happen. He's mediocre. He has not been a good wide receiver this year. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about him. I'm very confused and conflicted about him.
Sure. I will say, didn't you and I, because you had mentioned that you had needed wide receivers. Didn't you and I make a trade? Didn't you have Aaron
We
Jones at one
did.
point?
I
Yes,
did have
I think
Aaron.
Yeah, you had Aaron Jones, and I think I swapped you for DK Metcalf.
Which
And I took Aaron Jones, and I don't know if you still have DK or if you traded him
I
away.
He
still
does.
have DK. I want to say we made that trade after
It was
his
like
bye week,
middle
so
of the
week
season.
10. So week 11, he put up 14 points. Okay. He put up 9 afterwards. And then he put up 10. So he's not been that good.
He's been injured though, coming out like before the bye, into the bye, like Buffalo and the Rams. I think he was iffy.
I feel like Aaron
So he didn't
Jones
play
hasn't
those.
been treating you too fairly either, though.
So DK is 26th overall, but wide receivers I would say is a little bit of a more competitive market than the running backs. And Jones is 17. Last game he put up a dud, 9.8. He was really good against Chicago, but then Tennessee put up a kind of a stinker. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been spectacular. If there wasn't if Lad McConkey wasn't on like questionable, I probably would swap out a couple of guys because I have 3 stud or 2.5 stud running backs. But yeah, I remember we made that trade and I don't know, that was kind of a lateral move, I would say. It didn't really pan out for either one of us. Like nobody really won
It
that
was more
trade, I
like
would say.
roster
And maybe
shuffling, if anything, I feel like. Like, you
yeah,
needed more running backs, I needed more wide receivers.
and we'll see how each of them do in the playoffs because I think that's where it's gonna boil down to who really won the trade. Or maybe they both go off and maybe we both win. Who knows?
Maybe we both
Well,
lose and we
hey,
look at each other, we're like, we're dumbasses. That's
Yeah.
also a possibility.
hey, Harry, you wanna talk about someone I know has grieved the both of us this season?
Oh. Starts with the name
Who's that?
Jay? Was that what that is?
No.
Oh, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
So it's a good old Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
That guy is such a stinker, dude.
I don't think it's really his fault though. I think it's that quarterback. Like I love
mean,
Anthony
yeah.
Richardson, but the dude just in my other league, he takes away everything, especially from Jonathan Taylor. Like when he came back, he wants to prove stuff now. So now he's taking away touchdowns from Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. And Taylor was had a really good year last year.
Oh.
You know,
Yes.
Now,
in my
Well,
opinion. I mean, I know I had him last year on the fantasy team, and he put up
yeah.
some major games.
he was solid last year. This year, he's anything but solid.
Last year, yeah.
The good old year.
So So Harold, how many leagues are you in? And if so, depending on how many, are there any leagues where you're gonna make the playoffs?
So actually, yes, I'm in 3. 2 are paid, 1 is free. I'm in Andrew, our league, our friends league that we've been in. I'm
Mhm.
in Jared's work league, and I'm in my other free work league. All 3 were making the playoffs, and all 3 I'm feeling ready to go to the distance. I feel like I'm gonna really do well, and I'm in tied for first in our league. We'll have to see what happens this week because it's just gonna boil down
Yeah.
to tiebreakers, which I think is points for this league.
Mhm.
For Jared's league, I clinched the first seed like 2 weeks ago, so I'm just kind of chilling. And then for the Paint League, I am just a little bit more middle of the pack for the playoffs, but I'm still feeling pretty strong about that team. So I'm thinking
Okay.
I'm thinking 2 or 3. Hopefully both paid leagues, making first place. That'd be nice. But you know, the best type of collapse is when it's in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we make it there and everybody shits the bed. But I know Amon Ra won't do that to me because that's my boy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Harold, you and I are
I regret
currently
not picking them
we're
up.
we're at a 3-way tie for our friends league with Cody, you and me. We all have the same record, different different points. I think it goes off of points against.
Ooh, we're
I'm
projected to
not
face each other
100%.
for the playoffs if everything goes the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah. The top 4 players will face each other. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out, but I'm excited. So, yeah, real quick, we'll jump over to Jared. How is your fantasy season going? Are there things that you wish you could do over, and there are things that you got right?
Well, the do-over would be in my league that I run is not draft Tyreek Hill in the first round with the number 2 pick.
Yeah, that has been.
I mean,
that has been kind
Had
of a
Tua not
letdown.
been out half the season, it might have worked out different, but it didn't, obviously.
Right, and
I'm pretty sure
he's injured
that's what
this
happened
week.
in our league too.
He's questionable right now.
Yeah, it's kind of been hit or miss.
He's kind of been questionable for the last
It's-
3-4 weeks, though.
How old is he? Is he 30?
He's right
Or is he
around there.
younger
I'm not
than that?
100% on that.
I can't remember if he's younger. I think he might be a little younger. Because
I know he's close to it if he's not.
I worry about his age with.
He's 30 years old.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. Yeah, I worry about his age now. I wonder if the Dolphins are gonna look to draft a wide receiver maybe in the next draft.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about his speed and athletic ability. It's more of obviously, as we're seeing, he's getting injured a lot more.
Yeah. Typically 30 is where the decline starts to
Oh,
happen.
yeah. But positive things in fantasy,
Yeah.
I'm in 3 leagues,
Okay.
and I'm on a bump for all of them, so we got that going. But all 3 leagues and all 3 teams I have, I went all in on Jaden Daniels, and that has worked out wonderfully for me so far.
Yes. Love
He
me
has
some
been-
Jane Daniels.
He has been a stud all year round.
Yes, he has.
And the other rookie I went in on 2 of the leagues was Harold's boy over there in New York, Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, he's been.
He started out hot. He's gotten slow, and he's kind of mellowed out. He's getting me on an average 12 to 18-ish points a game.
I mean, that's not terrible considering.
No, he's
his quarterback
consistent at least. I'll take
situation.
consistency in fantasy most of the time over anything.
Right. I mean, you look at like someone like Brock Bowers with his QB situation, and he's leading the league in receptions.
Yeah,
and
I think he's number 1
crazy.
tight end.
Yes.
He might be number 1 receiver in general.
He's for the team, yes, not because you're not ahead of like Jamar Chase. I don't think.
No, Jamar Chase is having a just stupid year.
Yeah.
Oh, another big move I did. Not even
Mhm.
3 weeks ago, my tight end was on a bye week, so I had to pick a guy up. I picked up a boy named Jonu Smith,
Yes.
scored no less than 21 points for me
Dude,
since I picked him up.
He is currently the fifth tight end on the year.
Yes,
I've got him in one or two of my leagues. I think two of my leagues, and I have been really happy that I grabbed him.
I just want to
So-
thank whoever in my league dropped him. I could go back and look, but I don't want to.
You should kiss him.
But I know he was on someone's team when we did the draft.
Was it Harold?
Oh
Did Harold
no,
drop
I would
I
not have
don't
dropped
think it was Harold.
But it was definitely he.
I
It
mean,
was
in their defense, he went about 4 weeks not scoring more than 6 points. I think.
That was
Sorry, he
earlier,
went.
though,
He went
wasn't it?
3 weeks. He had 7.5, 9.6, and 6. But yeah, before that, he had a 0 game and a 3.8 game. But since I picked him up, the lowest he scored is 21.
Yeah, I think it's just because, with the receivers down there kind of getting banged up. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Johnny has really proven that he can handle a lot of the underneath stuff, and he can get a lot of that yak. So
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's hard to take down.
he is. Yeah, but I'm in four leagues total. This is the first time this year I've ever done four leagues, and I've managed them all really well. Last year I did 3. I've always kind of stepped it up. I don't know if I'll do more than 4, maybe 5. I'll probably cap. 2 are paid, and 2 are free. 3 of them are on ESPN, and 1 of them is on NFL.com. And the one on NFL.com, of course, is my more expensive and the most competitive. It's 12-man. And I am in last place because of my terrible luck. And I'm not kidding you. There was a stretch of 4 or 5 weeks now where 1 week I faced Jamar Chase on his 65-point night.
That hurts.
Yep, so I lost that. Like, that was a Thursday night game too, and I lost before I even got to start any of my guys.
Yeah.
So that was really unfortunate that I, out of the 10 other people besides the guy that had Jamar Chase, went up against him. The week after that, I lost by like 0.2 points. I needed the Chiefs defense to get like a stop or a sack or something, and I think they let a field goal go, or like they let another touchdown go, and so they lost. They lost me points, so I dropped under the threshold, and so I lost by 0.2. Week 3, or the week after that, the third week, my bench outscored my starting lineup, and I'm not joking. I could go back and find it. I'm trying to remember. I think I had Bo Nix on the bench because I have Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels is amazing.
Yeah, you got to start him every week.
But I had Bo Nix. I think. I'm trying to think if I had picked up Jonnu. I think that was the first week I picked up Jonnu, and I didn't know how he was gonna do. Or that was like his week after he was really good. So I'm like, oh, we'll wait and see. So I left him on there. I think I had either David Njoku or I had Mark Andrews, one of the two. And Mark Andrews was doing well at the time, so I think that's why I played him. And then there's a couple other wide receivers, and they just like exploded. And so like I tallied up the points, and my bench outscored my starting lineup. So like I dropped like 3 or 4 games just on like really weird stuff, just unlucky stuff. Which is unfortunate, but that's how fantasy goes. And so I'm hoping I can fight out these last several weeks, because by the end of the season, I just have to make sure I'm not in 12th, because there is a punishment. I think I can choose my own punishment, but this league is very serious about it. They hand out a trophy and all this other stuff, so fingers crossed, pray to God that I do not end up in last place, because I don't want to do a punishment. The other paid league is our Friends League, and currently tied for first. Definitely going to make the playoffs. Wow. Excited to see where that goes. It'll be a lot of fun. And then the other 2 non-paid leagues, 9 and 4 with Dylan and a couple of other of our friends, and then Then another random league, and I'm 11-2 in that league. So doing really well for my ESPN leagues. Do-overs, I'll talk specifically just for the more expensive one. I am so upset that I drafted, and this was not a first round pick because I grabbed CeeDee Lamb, though I wish he was doing better. I'm upset that I drafted Brandon Ayuk in the second round. That was probably the biggest letdown ever. He took forever to get going, and finally, I think when he had a week where he was doing really well, the next week he tore his ACL and he's done. And so I lost a starting wide receiver that I spent a second round pick on. Because like I said, this league is competitive, so it's like a lot of good names go right away, and so it was kind of all downhill from there. So I kind of wish I could redo that. But some things I got right. I do like that I picked up Jonnu Smith, although it was kind of like too little, too late. And then I mean, CeeDee Lamb has been decent, but I was really happy that I drafted. I think it was like 8th or 9th round. I drafted Jaden Daniels because all of the dual threat quarterbacks were gone at that point. All the good, really stand in the pocket quarterback gunslingers were gone, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance on a rookie. And I'm like, I watched Jane Daniels a lot in college. I think he was the one that played for Washington. No, I always get it mixed up. It was LSU. Michael Penix, I think, was the one at Washington. And when watching him on LSU, oh my gosh, this man would like throw for like 300-400 yards and then also rush for like 150 yards. It was crazy. This man did everything. So I felt really happy with that. So that was one thing I got right. So yeah, that kind of wraps up just how our fantasy season's been going. Real quick, we'll run through. So we're kind of getting towards the end of the episode here. We'll just run through 2024. We're getting towards the end of this year, and it's crazy that, oh my gosh, like we're on week 14 or 15 or whatever it is of the NFL, and we are 3 weeks away from Christmas, and before you know it, it'll be 2025. This year has gone so fast. We'll just run through real quick. What is something that happened to you this year that you really remember that was a staple that you're like, I'll always remember that this happened in 2024? It could be a crazy event, something that you experienced, something that you just saw on the news or anything. Harold, do you got something for us?
I think the thing that I will never forget about this year was seeing in the news that private government information was leaked on a Discord server, and the Discord server was called Thug Shaker Central. What does a man on Thug Shaker Central have with government documents?
I know where this is going.
I'm going to be like 80 years old in the nursing home just rambling on about this, and they're like, Harold, take your meds. I'm sick of you. But
all right, that's your big thing for this year?
That's the big thing for this year.
All right. Wow, that was very in-depth and close to heart. Dylan, what is something that you, looking back on this year, that you'll remember?
It's gonna have to be the AZ trip.
Yeah, that was nice.
I mean, there's so much to unpack in that, but yeah, I mean, it was a good long trip, and it was very memorable. John did a really good job with that.
Awesome to hear. Yeah, that was a much-needed trip for you. We did talk about that in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the episode that we talked about it in, so you're just gonna have to listen to them all. That's just how it goes.
Every single one, start to finish.
No, yeah. Don't even tell them the episode name if you know it. Just go listen to all of them. You gotta listen to all of them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jared, what about you? Is there something that you look back on for this year? Something you'll remember for 2024?
I mean, nothing overly exciting happened other than work got really slow. They shut down second shift, which I was working, and moved me to day shift. But the weld department where I work got really, really slow, so they moved me out to the assembly line where I met the two goons that are in here. Mr. Dylan and Harold,
Oh, that's a good positive thing coming out
and
of
therefore
2024.
met Andrew out of the whole deal.
Yes,
So
sir.
we got that going for me.
Yeah.
3 goons.
Oh yeah.
Yes, big old 3
Yes,
goons.
sir.
Goofy
Um,
goofy.
yeah, I would say my biggest thing, obviously, is the most obvious thing, probably to two of you, and Jared, you know as well, because I've talked about it, but I got married this year to my lovely wife, Faith, and
Yeah.
it was obviously probably one of the biggest things that happens in your life. A lot of people, it's a very big thing. So this year will always be special to me because of that. I get to locked in my partner for the life. It was it was a great wedding. It was perfect. It was exactly how we imagined it to be. Um, and then we went on our honeymoon. And our honeymoon was down in the Bahamas, so I'd never been out of the country, so that was a big first for me too. So a lot of firsts this year. It was a lot of fun. I always remember it. So yeah, that it was a great. I think this year it went really fast. I think this year was
Yeah.
really, really, really. I don't know if you boys experienced the same type of feeling, but this is probably one of the fastest years I've ever witnessed.
I feel like they get faster as we get
Every
older
single
for some
year,
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Where just every year, I don't even remember what I did in January of this year or
Couldn't
February.
tell you.
No.
I think those months just but March I know that we've got Dylan and Harold's birthday, so I know we did something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think
Um,
January, February was still depression season.
it always is.
Yeah.
That's where we're still in hibernation mode, kind of just being depressy and eating the good foods.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, as we wrap up this episode, before we go, we always kind of talk about our hot topics, stuff we're looking forward to, till the next episode. So boys, Harold, Dylan, Jared, what are you guys looking forward to? What are your hot topics? Harold, you can go first.
Hot topics is, as every single one of you guys know, I am terrible with watching movies that I need to watch. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna continue to procrastinate it because I want to start watching some Christmas movies now. I'm
Yes.
trying to
boy.
watch one at least every couple days. Maybe some ones I haven't seen before, maybe some childhood classics, but just the one time a year where you can like watch a Christmas movie without it being weird. I'm looking forward to that. Um, yeah, email in at the Jerk Circle Podcast Show if you have any Christmas recommendation movies.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of good
think
ones.
that's what I'm
There's
really
so
looking
many.
forward to. There's so many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question, Harold. Do you have your tree up yet?
No, we do not. We need to actually get that up here shortly, but we've been procrastinating a little bit, getting it up. But we are going to get it up here shortly
Man.
because Santa Claus is going to be coming to town, and I have a little inside scoop that I made the nice list this year.
That's a lie.
I
Yeah.
don't know if we want Harold on the naughty list.
You do
I
not
don't
want to know
probably
what I would do with
deserves a
that
spot
coal.
on the nice list.
Yeah, well.
Let's just say if you put
know.
coal in something
He's a dirty
pressurized,
boy.
if you put coal
All
in something with
right.
enough pressure, I can make a diamond.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
Oh, boy.
Dylan, your hot topic.
I've said it before, but I'm gonna come back to it again because they drop a new episode every week, and they're
Mhm.
always so good.
Mhm.
Landman on, I think it's Paramount. Oh,
You're
Paramount
right.
Plus.
so good! Oh my goodness,
Mhm.
I really
Yeah.
need to watch that.
you do. You all need
Yeah.
to. It's so
There's
good.
a lot of shows I need to watch.
Yeah, same.
Currently, a new Netflix series dropped. I don't remember the name of it. I could probably find it here real quick while I ramble on. But it's about this guy where he's being framed for a murder that he kind of stumbled upon. It was like
Mm.
out in the woods or whatever, and it just dropped not
Huh.
too long ago. And Faith and I watched the trailer for it, I think it's called The Madness. Yes, The Madness, and it's a series. I thought it was a movie at first. Series, and it looks really, really good. So these people are trying to hunt him down, kill him because he witnessed it, and it looks so good. So
Sounds interesting.
that is the one we're kind of watching right now.
Gonna
We
have
did
to check
finish
it out.
we finished our series, well, currently From on MGM Plus. That is so good. I absolutely love that series. We could talk more later, but Jared, what is your hot topic?
Same as normal. Looking forward to watching the Dolphins, which I to the point I don't understand why. It's just heartbreaking week after week after week
Not
after
look
week.
forward
But
to
apparently I
heartbreak.
like it. I must like it. I don't know.
You
And
know,
then
they
I'm-
look
I'm-
really
yeah,
good on paper. Like
Oh
in
my god, they look
fantasy,
so
they
good
look
on
great.
paper. The problem
Yeah.
is our defense. We're running like 5th, 6th, 7th string guys out there.
Hey,
You know,
you get to play the Jets this week, so I think that's a win.
I mean, I would hope so, but at this point, I'm not even sure about that.
do the Dolphins
would you
have
be
a chance
happy
at making
if-
the playoffs? That's fine.
They do still. That's because the whole AFC is just not good.
It's been rough.
And then the
Yeah.
other thing is, I'm with Harold. It's that time of year. I like Christmas movies. I got 3 of them watched already to this point.
Sure.
I watched
Two.
3 this week.
Ooh,
I watched
watched
one
2 this
yesterday in dedication to Dylan because apparently he really likes this
Yeah.
movie. But National Lampoon's Christmas
It's the
Vacation.
best one.
I know that's arguable, but you
It's
know,
such a good one.
we'll save
Yeah.
that for another podcast.
Yeah, my wife and I, we made a
Yeah.
deal where if we both have to watch Home Alone 1 and 2 because those are my favorite Christmas movies.
Those are the only
Um,
2 good ones, too.
Yes, I don't do 3.
No, terrible.
And then she's like, okay, well then you gotta watch A
No,
Christmas
you can play the
Vacation,
series.
and I'm like, okay, we'll watch that.
Yeah, that's a
So
good trade-off.
We kind of made
Yeah.
our deals there. So that is not my hot topic. My hot topic is, you know what it is. It's It's tomorrow night, not next week. It is tomorrow night. The Packers against the Lions. This is a huge game. Do I see the Packers easily winning this game? No. Do I think it's going to be a fight?
Nah.
Yes. I think it's going to be a back and forth fight. There was already the report came out for the Lions. 4 of their defensive line, I think, is out for this game, which is pretty big, especially for Josh Jacobs. I just hope it's a good game overall. I hope we win in the end. I don't expect us to, because the Lions are very good. They've got a really good team and they've got a really good coach. I think the Packers will be fine if they lose this game, but I think it would be even cooler to see the Packers win, obviously. So that is my hot topic. Looking forward to that. So, well, that will wrap up I think it's the 7th episode. You can
8th.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is it
Sorry.
8th?
Yeah, it is.
Because I was going through our notes, and mine's titled 7, and then I go back and it says Pod 6 intro Thanksgiving tier list on anything Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh, it is the 7th.
Our 7th episode was the Thanksgiving
Well, I
special.
mean, you haven't hosted all of them though.
No, I know the 6th one Harold did, and that was from Harold.
No,
He wrote
6
Pod
was
6.
no Thanksgiving. 7 was the Thanksgiving special.
Well, you wrote the number wrong,
Oh.
because
Well,
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, that's what I was going off of.
There's
So
7 that are out on Spotify right now.
all right, so this is episode 8, which is crazy. We have 8 of these done, boys.
That's
Isn't
8
that
weeks.
Yep.
that's
technically
crazy?
7
We've been
weeks.
doing this for wow.
There's a
We're
second
just gonna
episode.
say 8 weeks. We're
Alright,
just
yeah,
gonna
8
say
weeks,
8
boys. 8 weeks.
8 episodes.
There we go.
That is crazy, and we will be here for the formidable future.
Unless one of us
Um,
get murdered.
Well, let's hope that doesn't
Why would
happen.
you say? Why would you? Is something? Do you know something, Harold?
You know, I know a guy who knows a guy. You know.
I
Oh,
don't like
I
this.
might-
they're
guy.
from one of the guys that you work with.
Oh well, yeah.
We got
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
all right. Well,
Let's not go down that road.
that will do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening.
did I hear a knock
You
on
can
my door?
find you can find the Jerk Circle podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts. Until next time, we will catch you in the next episode. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Eat your vegetables.
Bye.
Bye bye.